So we're basically gonna cover like report cards, FSA hype, and go over some FSA data. So it should be pretty straight to the point. So report cards went home today, yay. The most important thing is being in fourth quarter, retention conversations are coming up, and I just wanna make sure that we are covered as far as documentation. So please make sure that scholarship warnings go home to all students who failed. Please loop in SPED with scholarship warnings that you're sending home, kids who are failing. Buck would like kids who receive a scholarship warning to get a call, an email, and Dojo. So it's not one of those. It's like, if possible, all three of those. Just because a parent could easily say, you never called. So when you call, log it in the phone log. Dojo is super easy because we can print out all of the messaging. And for the parents who never check Dojo, who don't answer the phone, the email is another really form of documentation, because as long as you can prove you sent it, it's been sent. So just, he would like those to be done by the end of the week. And Friday, like if y'all give me copies of your scholarship warnings, any kind of screenshots of the Dojo messages, like I'll keep all your documentation too. Questions about report card documentation? Yeah, Ms. Yates.
So team leaders will give me copies of the scholarship warnings for ESE students. I will put them in certified mail to make sure that they're delivered as well.
Excellent, thank you. So, okay, FSA hype is going to be led by 7th grade. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Anderson.
For the scholarship warning, is this like a build on top of the scholarship list that we created last time for third quarter?
Yes.
Is there like a running record of that list somewhere? That
there was a tracker that was sent out like during that first quarter that has the names of whoever got the scholarship warning.
You might not have it.
It probably would have been shared with part.
Yeah, we can get you access to that.
Now, what we're doing is we just had Maddie print out the report cards for us, and we went off of the report cards, and we're like highlighting FFFDDD, like and then we're gonna staple that report card to the scholarship warning with the highlighted classes, so that we don't have to go through the tracker. It's just all in front of us. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to help you with documentation, just because
Oh, okay.
I know you haven't done. You haven't done this.
He's like, he's talking, but okay.
All right. So just let me know if you need any help, or like how to screenshot, how to take pictures, things of that nature. Let us know.
Is it possible for me to get a list of students that are in danger so that I know to kind of flag them for maybe they might have to do virtual school?
Yeah. Cool. Anderson.
I'm sending it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so FSA hype is 7th grade this week. They're gonna explain what they're gonna do. I just ask that if you have a contingency plan for weather, if it's outside, and make sure that 6th grade goes first, just because we left them out last time. And please, this is all grade levels, can we distribute the tickets before the children are in the cafeteria? So if they know their break, they know who's going or not before we split them up to go to the auditorium. That's super helpful. All right.
So for 7th grade, what we're doing is playing dodgeball, teacher versus student dodgeball. So be ready for that. Admin can play too. And then eventually, like based on the top 3 advisories from each grade level that win, then we'll do like a Pokemon game where it's like 4 games going on at once for like all the teachers and admin versus all the students kind of thing. So it should be fun, and hopefully we have enough time for everybody to go so everyone can let all their wonderful feelings out.
I've wanted to do this for so long.
Another way we can, I'm trying to look at the time, just because last week seemed to get away from us so quickly. We might have it where all, because Pokemon is a 4-way dodgeball game, so I might have it like your advisory teacher with your advisory playing, whichever advisory wins, then they will play the winning one from 7th, the winning one from 8th, and then all the teachers will be in one of the corners. It's basically, you get hit, you don't get out, you get put into the other team. So your goal is to build your Pokemon team.
Catch a ball.
Catch them all. I usually like run around, gotta catch them all, but I won't do that.
Why not? Well, why not?
But I think you should.
I'm Ash Ketchum.
Can I be Team Rocket?
Yes, most
Why do
definitely.
y'all remember these names?
Jealous?
Do we still wear togas?
I think the togas have fallen by the wayside, or maybe fallen off the truck. I don't know. I don't know where the togas are.
Okay.
Anyone know what the togas are?
It was supposed to be Wednesday.
Yeah,
But they're here?
Well, he never purchased them. He said that you were gonna buy it. He said you were gonna bring them.
The directions were go find a bed sheet, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
okay.
never purchased.
Oh,
But we
great.
And
do
then,
have-
you know, some of us have like giant beds with tiny bodies, and that wasn't gonna work out. It was
I don't think the fastening of a bed sheet worries me. Like, we're just depending on the person's knot. I mean, I'm assuming they're wearing
you're supposed to have
clothes.
clothes, so.
I was going authentic toga.
Nope.
But,
That's why I was
The
saying,
one thing I
like,
do have is
not
he
just
did
hot, but
purchase the
mobility.
columns and
The headgear.
So that's downstairs, and if that, do you want that set up? I don't know.
Yeah. I say, like, if you have a bed sheet and you want to rock your toga, wear your toga. Might make dodgeball a little tricky, though. Just, like, move it.
All day.
I say either
Come in with it.
all or none, you know?
All or
Like, what are we doing?
Are we wearing the togas?
Or are we not wearing togas?
I'll wear a toga.
I don't have a
I'll figure
white.
something
I'll make it work.
You could wear a pink bedsheet. It doesn't have to be white.
Okay.
It's tomorrow.
You could be like
The most
Aphrodite.
popular
That's
color
very
in
true.
ancient Rome was actually red.
I think I got that.
The easy toga I used to make in college was a pillowcase in the front, a pillowcase in the back, shorts on. Like, you just tuck it in,
Okay.
and then like
A little
a little thing around. I used to put a towel. What's up? Pretty easy. So
Wear toga tomorrow.
Wear a toga.
All right.
Do you want me to text that out?
Yep.
Send a remind.
Yep.
oh my god.
Okay.
Do y'all need anything from us other to support y'all?
No, we'll clarify the rules and make sure we have those set before we start tomorrow. And then I think we don't really need any props. And it's going to be in the gym, so we don't really need anything else.
Toga time.
I
Right.
just, that's the first time I've ever texted
When
them.
people make togas, is it normally one sheet or two?
If you look on
There's some
Pinterest,
lovely diagrams online.
I'm gonna watch a YouTube video.
We're told this for after parties and yeah.
We used
Also,
to have
who
a-
owns
we used to have a
Gladiator
blue toga
sandals?
party, so-
Gladiator sandals, anyway.
Oh.
I-
Gonna need
Okay,
those.
so how that on the side.
Okay, we'll make it work. FSA spirit. Speaking of FSA, let's talk about some data. Katie's gonna go first to talk about the FSA schedules. You'll hear more about those closer to testing.
Hey y'all.
Okay.
I have the FSA schedules. I just emailed you. You can be more than happy to open it, or you can share or look along. I don't have actual copies. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I don't know what that noise is, or you can pull it up on your phone if you would so desire. That also works. The main thing that I need you to communicate to your teachers is that like during the reading test, you're still going to have enough time to have class because it's only 85 minutes. It's literally the amount of time of one block in the day. So I don't want your teachers to think like because we have the reading test, it just shuts down the rest. Like you still have a test, you still have a test, we still have tests. So I try to keep it so that you still got band and you still got lunch, but unfortunately PE is not going to be able to do that because Chloe is pulling small groups for testing, so I don't know when she's going to be done. So, but I did build in time for after testing recess, so it worked out pretty well with 6th grade going on the courts and 8th grade going on the track at the same time. 7th grade I put your recess at the end of the day with your children, so they have like a little bit of free time to run around. So reading is pretty straightforward. Math, they have, so many things going on. So math, they have one session the first day that's 85 minutes, but they have 2 sessions the second day. I mean, wait, they have one session the first day that's 60 minutes and 2 sessions the second day that are both 60 minutes. So math day 2 is real messed up. So just apologies in advance because there's just no way to avoid that.
Would you like us to still?
I mean, whatever you want to
educate
do.
on these days as well.
So on math day 1, yes, because the blocks are still like an hour and 15 minutes. On math day 2, the blocks are 45 minutes. So live your life.
So after math day 2, all of 7th grade should be on our civics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in all classes, all the
In
time.
all classes for the whole time.
Okay.
So there's one caveat to the math schedule and keys. I didn't talk to you about this, but I'm hoping that this is a fine solution. So algebra and geometry are not testing the same day as everyone else. They're testing later. So my idea was, since most of the children are with you and Jean, putting all the kids to test with Jean for 8th grade math, and then having you hold the algebra and geometry kids. There would be 24 plus 5 plus
Okay, got it.
30.
That's fine.
With the caveat of you maybe testing the algebra kids in May.
Okay.
We will get you a sub. My number 1 person is Ashley Haynes over here, maybe, but she's going to be doing some other testing for me. It just, the algebra test, they can have up to 4 hours to take, so it can't be someone who has a class, and if it is someone who has a class, they have to get a sub. So we're going to see how it pans out. Yeah, it's real long. And then civics, science, everybody's on normal schedule except for 8th grade. It's pretty simple because it's only 8th grade. Civics, I switched 7th and 8th schedule. And so pretty much, since your civics test is 160 long minutes, very long minutes, I kind of just said, like, you guys are going to test, then go to recess. You're going to switch classes because I don't know about you, but I got tired of looking at the same children for 160 minutes. So switch the class, put on a movie, they go to band at the end of the day.
Is that the same thing for math?
No.
When they test on math? So I'm teaching math?
You have 45-minute class, so I don't care what you.
You can teach
Question about that. Can you teach the content that's being tested? So like reading has day 1 and day 2, and in the past, at least the district told us, you can't do content during the content testing window.
That's why.
So can reading teachers teach reading on the day they're getting their reading test?
I never heard of that.
Fair warning though, the children will burn down.
That's
But on the reading, they only have an 85-minute test that day. It's longer.
It's a mental shift. It's
Is
a mental thing. I just got done testing.
very taxing.
I just did so much work. Even though they only spent the equivalents in a class.
I'm sorry.
But I think the review games is a good idea. It's like fun, it's cool.
I feel like a fair rule of thumb is no new content
Yeah,
on
nothing,
the
just
testing day.
Because teachers are going to be super
You
like,
played like
watching them is stressful. It's tiring.
I don't think anybody has any more content
New
by then
game.
anyway.
No.
Take a nap. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could just communicate to your teachers that on testing days, especially the reading test, you're still going to have blocks of time with your children, and you could do something such as teach them, especially like, you know, we still have 2 tests, 3 tests, 1 test in the weeks to come. So my action step is that I'm going to go over the schedule with everybody next week, but I just want to give you guys a preview so you can start if people ask. This has been shared out before, but
Wasn't Amba originally a small group
yes,
testing
we're
person?
gonna have to chat about that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good
Cat.
time.
Okay.
Kat could be. She's
Or
already,
Melissa,
she's already volunteered.
like too. We've already started recruiting some people. Everybody. I was also like, Roxana, you wanna remember last year when we did all this makeup? She's like, I'm not doing it. Never again.
For the quarters.
Okay, cool. Any questions about that?
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. I have to leave it.
Keeping on the FSA train, Buck sent out an FSA prediction tracker, and you guys filled it out. He wanted me to share with you, like, currently based on this tracker, we are slated to make a high B or low C. My only caveat to that is this is all based on like standards mastery from Illuminate. So like many things could have went on with Illuminate. Maybe the actual Illuminate assessment isn't as aligned to the test as we thought. Maybe it's testing a different part of the question stem and the kid might not get that standard, or he might get the standard. Maybe you had kids retake stuff and Illuminate. So just like be aware of that. Like I think it's great. Like I feel like we're in a pretty good place. I just don't want us to be like ridiculously optimistic. So all of these predictions are based off standard mastery and, you know, kids' character. So we're in a solid place. But just want to share that with y'all. And Ms. Riley has made a protocol that's not about FSA, but it's more about class grades. And we'll talk about what we can use that for more next week when Buck talks about retention conversations and things of that nature. But she did want to explain it to you guys. You know, whip that around to yourself.
Front and center.
And that we were just gonna end it. Okay, this is anybody else? DeShazo, do you want to become the?
Just let it stay on you.
Oh, great! Yeah, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so I just emailed this as well to you if you want to check it out. It's best seen on a computer, but I will flip this around so that you can look at it. So basically, how I created this, and like Ms. Black said, I'm gonna be Buck's retention conversations and all of that will be more along the next week. But this is just something that you definitely could play with and look through what you are noticing trends maybe. So the first tab in it is just every single student listed. So the information that we have is their name, then like the ID, then the class, and it can stay together, so you can keep them depending on how you sort it. And definitely, if you need me to help you sort or want me to show you, I can show you how to keep like Carlos together and Zachary together and stuff. But other than that, we have the different quarters. So each number translates to a grade. So a 4 for a grade translates to an A, a 3 translates to a B, a 2 a C, a 1 a D, and then a 0 and an F is an F. For promotion guidelines, they have to, and this is for a second, just like take away any like FSA talk, just for a second, just for the purposes of this. So for promotion guidelines, they have to achieve a 4 or higher. So hypothetically, if a child got an A in their first quarter, then they could still pass. Again, taking away FSA. So what I did is I just did basic math. It's just like, where are they on the spectrum here? For how close are they to getting that basic 4? How close are they to passing? And I also put in, so it doesn't mean much 8th grade credit checks, but for 6th grade and 7th grade I have, are they overage? So that's just information that just found on Focus. Do they have an IEP? I did change that. That actually should say accommodation, so it incorporates everything, not just IEP. So I put that in. And then 7th grade is the same. The only additional piece for 8th grade is an 8th grade credit check, because that is holding them back. And I know Miss Razor had pulled 6th and 7th. So this is just sort of a tool that you can use to play around with, see where students are. Definitely used a lot of, I know that 7th had something that they sent me, and 8th had something that they sent to Warren, and he sent it to me. So that was really helpful in compiling this. But essentially just a tool that you can use to check through where they are in a class at this current moment. So to Ms. Razor's earlier point about flagging them, this is, yeah.
So it says missing MS credit. That's 7th grade. Those are virtual schools missing.
It's hard for you to see here.
Okay, because I'm looking
Middle
like,
school.
I guess I'm looking at Eddie Grace and I see like missing MS science credit. And it's like, is that including 8th grade or is that him?
He's missing his 7th grade, so we wouldn't know that he's missing 8th grade yet.
Okay, is this updated from when he's finished virtual school?
We haven't done grade changes.
Got you.
So yeah, so that's a good piece, because there are some on here that when we run it on Focus, they haven't been. So that's why it only applies to 8th. When we run it on Focus, it hasn't taken into account the students who've passed FLVS. But everything else should be.
Is it a, sorry, you're not done, go ahead, sorry.
So is that a form you fill out
Yeah.
for that child? Okay.
So I have my list for this week to send you the kids that have passed and
Okay.
what grade they had. So you can give them their new grade, and you just have to fill out the same grade change for the paper that you normally do, and then you have to give it to Boone, right? Yeah, because Boone changed the grade.
Okay.
So,
You're fine. I promise.
so is it a 4 per quarter?
Yeah.
So right now they should have
No, sorry, not a 4 per quarter, a 4 total.
a 4 average?
A 4 total, it's points. There is an average system, and you can do it this way, but I did it on the point system.
So if we're all looking at the first name, Carlos Alexander.
Yeah.
He has a 2.
So that means that in quarter 1 he got a C, in quarter 2 he got an F, in quarter 3 he had an F. So right now his total is a 2. He has a C. He needs to get a C or better to get to pass.
So that's the average of all of his.
That's not an average, it's a total.
So the number, but like, what about, is it per class, like per course, or is it just?
Per course. The way she has it set up is, if you look at each course, it says how many points they have per course, per child. So if you look at, I don't know, pick a 6th grade.
Oh, for critical thinking.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
the,
okay, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs a 4 per course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My next question, I know like in the past, for certain classes, they have, I know civics is like 30% of your EOC. There, and I know like I know at one point in time it's like, does FSA or anything else factor into their
It
grades?
does.
So how is that incorporated in here? Because if those things are factored, that's a conversation we might want to start having with the parents. So if it drastically changes or whatever, or if they're borderline and
Yeah. So I think that's a really solid point. I just pulled as much as I knew in terms of FSA and all of that. I just don't know a whole ton, so that I didn't want to start to like dabble in that. As much context as you can bring, like I remove PE for instance because PE isn't a graduation, but like I might not have removed another class on here that it isn't either. So I created it just to have that conversation, but you all are the experts about the academic side. You know what that looks like and what it takes.
What do you mean by PE isn't a graduation?
Or I mean, it is a requirement, but if you and
Just 1 year of it, right?
yeah, I don't know exactly.
They need 1.5 credits.
Yeah.
It's only like half a credit or something. Because they need PE and health.
Oh, okay.
So if you failed PE, but then you passed everything else, you wouldn't be retained in seventh grade. Is what I meant by that.
I have a question. I'm not sure. I did tell the children, I do remember that the EOC is like supposed to be 30% of the fourth quarter. I don't know if like if they fail the class but pass the EOC, that covers them. No, I'm saying those are two separate things. As in 30% of fourth quarter grade, if you fail the class for the year and you pass the EOC, does it pass you for the year? That's my question.
So Katie would probably know that really well, but my gut is that it depends on, so it's the promotion, it's like a promotion protocol that's followed by Duval. So that's online. It's just, I think that's the best place to look for, and or Katie, because they're both, and I think I could possibly botch up the answer.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily a question.
No,
you.
I
It
don't.
was just like,
I just want to give you two people that are places to look.
yeah. I wasn't sure. The kids are asking me, so somebody said something to them,
What was the question?
whether or not if they passed the EOC and they failed the course with grades, will them passing EOC cover them passing like my class?
For the whole 4 quarters. So
Yeah, for the whole 4 quarters.
One test.
Yeah. I mean,
I might have been.
the only reason I'm asking is because kids kept coming and saying that, so the information came from somewhere, and I was like, man, y'all trust me, my intelligence, but I don't know this one, so I'm sorry,
I don't
but
think it would hold them festival, but.
okay.
I did have a question. So I'm a little bit confused. Are we basically saying like if you got an A 1 quarter but failed every other quarter, you've technically still passed the class?
That's based on Duval.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, because I think on the scholarship warning papers, it says a 1.5 average, which is different. And we've been going through, and if you had like a C, then a D, then an F, technically you're still failing the class.
Well, you are,
So-
because you only have 3 points.
Right,
So right now, you have to make a
Okay.
D
okay.
based on the promotion.
And I say, yeah, on scholarship, I think it's a 1.5 cumulative. I mean, like GPA for all classes. I don't think it's per class.
But then it also says a 1.5 in one class can all, like you might have to take that in virtual school, I think, unless I'm reading that paper wrong. But
I saw what you said. I thought
Yeah.
I took it as just because I knew they could pass with a D average. But if they had like 1.5 cumulative GPA or GPA for the year,
right.
they got it.
Okay. And then I have my other question, and maybe like we can't really answer this, but let's say that we do have a high number of students who are in danger of being retained, which is kind of looking that way. I know we're doing everything we can to make the 4th quarter sort of like the catch-up quarter, but like, have we thought about what that's going to look like if we have like 20 to 30 kids?
So we're going to talk more about, Buck is going to talk more about that next week.
Okay.
We're just going to have a retention conversation
Yeah.
about what the expectation that we set, the expectation as far as documentation, what can we actually do, what do we have documentation to support, what parents can actually push for around documentation, which the district says there's certain things we have to have before we can fail a kid.
Right.
And one of it is scholarship warning so we're going to talk about all that next week.
Okay.
But it is on our radar that we have a lot of kids that would make some grade levels like too full. Like we just could not do it.
It's a similar issue with 6th grade too.
And yeah, and then 6th grade not being an option next year. So, and last year we had kids who didn't pass 5th grade and just had to go to another school to take 5th grade.
Okay.
That is coming. Yes.
Last question. I think you said that FSA is counted towards certain grades. What classes are those, and what percentage, so we can have that conversation with?
So Katie and I talked about this today. Apparently, the district drops the grade into the grade book.
Automatically.
Yes, it's not something we enter.
So it's like is it like considered like a final exam grade?
It might be. Might be in that category. We just don't have a lot of clarity around it. So that's something we're working on now. But it's something that they enter when they get the scores into the grade book. And some kids passed off of that last year because it was pushed into the grade book.
Is that for the FCAT too?
I'm not sure about the FCAT actually.
Just a notice. We seem to have a lot of questions about grades, and we're like here, you know. So I feel like possibly the rest of the school has a lot of questions about grades, and so this just might need to be something that.
Yeah, that's why we're having a meeting next week.
Oh, okay.
About retention and grades and things like that.
I'm sorry.
We do. We have a lot of questions at our level. All right. More questions around promotion, FSA. All right, so the last part is just action steps. I went ahead and had Katie enter hers. I knew she'd be gone. I know mine is to collect the signed scholarship warnings from each grade level, check Dojo to make sure the messaging went out to parents, and if you could send me access to your phone call logs, just so I can monitor documentation, because I'm going to have a lot of fun in May around documentation. Pinkala is going to share the testing schedule with the whole staff, and Ms. Riley is going to give more clarity around the role that this tracker or this protocol that she has established is going to play on what retention means when we talk about retention next week with Buck. Yes, ma'am.
The scholarship warnings before, the parents sign those too, or is this the first time?
No, they should have got one every quarter.
They got one every quarter. It's just like we did it during for 8th grade. We did it during report card nights. I said we sent some home as well that had them come in if their parent didn't come in to pick up report cards.
So if their parent didn't come and they got the phone, did the parents send it back?
Some, and that's where it gets
Do
tricky.
we have a copy?
I have copies of mine.
I have copies.
But I didn't
of
get. I think I could probably count how many I got back.
Yeah.
You know.
But we did log when we emailed and when we called and all that.
I have an email tracker too.
We also had 6th grade had students sign for theirs. But I don't know who has those records.
But they're out there. So that's
So
good.
normally in the district, that's when parents get caught up because they say they never signed it. But if we got things signed and we have copies of it, and if the kids sign for it, that can help out.
I also, like for 7th grade, I don't remember giving out scholarship warnings for quarter 2. Did that happen while I was on leave, or?
That would have been for report card day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got some back.
I believe we had scholarship. Yeah, we had the whole shebang.
Okay. Cool.
All right, action steps. You don't have to go in order. What is going to be your action step leaving this meeting?
I'm about to go check on the gator, the dodgeballs, the little gator balls downstairs. To check on to make sure we have enough of those for tomorrow.
Right.
That's it. Do you want to quickly go through some logistics for tomorrow?
Yes, I was just gonna say finalize like what the specific plans are, and then also make sure we have all of the scholarship warnings done. So tomorrow we can start putting everything in the tracker during band tomorrow.
All right. Got that. Finalize logistics. Check on equipment.
I'll go.
Action step. Thank you.
I'm about to say my team we all sent out dojos today.
Okay.
We already sent out scholarship warnings. I got them signed by students. Ms. Haynes made copies that I have on file. We will send emails and phone calls to parents tomorrow so we can track that, so we can knock that all out in one day.
Great. Emails and phone calls tomorrow. All right.
I need to check on our for virtual school students.
Bless you, Ms. Haynes.
And send keys to students that have passed and ask Buck again about their grade change forms. I don't know.
I know what it said.
Okay, great. I don't know what it said. And I was going to look up information about some of the questions that we had in here about the FSA grade being dropped in the DOC course.
Thank you. All right. You see?
For us, it's to definitely get out the scholarship warnings for all the students and then have the multiple forms of communication done for the students. Now that we have this tracker, I think this will make life a lot easier.
I have a question. Is it safe to put a paper with the scholarship warning, like, this is not your first scholarship warning, sign this paper too? I mean, just to back
Yeah.
us, you know, like, is that weird, or is that something that's?
We would
being
put,
crazy?
when I was teaching sixth grade, we'll put like, this is second notice, this is third notice, like
Yes.
we'll put that on
So-
there.
If we put that on there, then maybe, because everybody that's getting a scholarship warning now has gotten one
Mhm.
by now.
And just
So
kinda
it's like,
catch y'all signature.
yeah, just to catch, can we do that?
Asterisk,
Mhm.
this is your second
Okay.
notice.
Okay.
Third notice, whatever notice, third notice.
You can write it on the actual paper, yeah.
So at the top of them, we just need to put second notice on all of them.
Mrs. Young and I sent IEP progress notes last week and included in our notes for the ESE students who are in danger of retention. We are concerned for this child's progress. They are in danger of being retained or not being promoted to the next grade level. That was typed and highlighted and went in the mail. And then if the grade level chairs will give me the copies, just one extra copy of the scholarship warnings for ESE students, I will certify, mail it, and send out an extra dojo note.
Random. How often do you get the letters back from the certified mail? Because like our Andrea's letter is still, they're still trying to circulate it, and that